the panel, the discussion, an objective and impartial view of the issues of interest to you. Nation Beat is on now.
Before we start, I want to remind everyone about their mobile phones or cell phones, and also, I would like to thank you all for coming. So, welcome to the Nobel Laureate Festival launch for 2023. I'm Delia Delors, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. Of course, in the NTN studios, we have our chair, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, Governor General Emerita of St. Lucia. And we also have our sponsors, and we'll tell you more about our sponsors later. But we would like to thank you all from the outset, because without our sponsors, of course, we couldn't do all the wonderful things that we do. Now, today, of course, the coordinators of the events will be telling you about why you should come and outlining, but they will be outlining it briefly. All right, so we know that time is a very special consideration, but we do want you to know as much as you can so that you can attend the event. The events, they're for everyone. They're for families, they're for people who are visiting St. Lucia, they're for your families abroad, and anyone who respects and welcomes, of course, our two Nobel laureates. Every year we have a new sub-theme for our festival, and this year, of course, we always have Celebrating Excellence, because that is what we do. And we have our sub-theme, which is Nurturing Our Creativity, Consolidating Our Legacy. So the best person who can address this and explain why this is the chosen theme for this year, of course, is our chair, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise.
Good morning, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. 30 years ago, in January 1993, we, the people of St. Lucia, celebrated what was and perhaps still is one of the most amazing accomplishments of the 20th century. That is, the receipt of a Nobel Prize by a second national of a small island state measuring 238 square miles with a population of about 150,000. And as if that was not of itself enough, both of these illustrious sons were born on January 23rd. Surely, we could not be faulted for saying that St. Lucia had outdone itself. Once again, our Helen of the West, the face that launched fleets of ships, had shown its mettle and proved its worth. And so we proudly and unapologetically declared January 23rd Nobel Laureate Day. I do not recall whether or not we sought the permission of the Nobel Prize Committee in Sweden to make that declaration, but we felt it was our decision to make. And perhaps the next thing we could do was to invite the United Nations to join us in celebrating January 23rd as Nobel Laureate Day. It is therefore with pride and a well-earned sense of accomplishment that we celebrate this year the 30th anniversary of Nobel Laureate Day, which over the years grew from a day to a week and now to a festival as our confidence and our ambitions grew. Sir Arthur and Sir Derek have definitely been trailblazers of excellence in their respective fields, in economics and in literature. Their life's work has ended, and they have gone to their rest. It is for us now to take up the torch and light up the way ahead, building on the legacy of excellence that they have bequeathed us, breaking down barriers, breaching new frontiers, shattering glass ceilings, embracing new opportunities, creating new ideas, discovering new ways of doing and seeing things. This is what the Nobel Laureate Festival is all about. Our theme for this 30th anniversary celebration is creating excellence, nurturing our creativity, and consolidating our legacy. And rightly so, for the Nobel Laureate Festival must go beyond celebrating the achievements of Sir Arthur and Sir Derek alone. This is what they would have wanted, that just as they built on the achievements of those who came before them, we too should build on what they have given us. They have made us proud, but we cannot sit back, bask in their glow, boast of their achievements, sit on their laurels, not even ours, sit on their laurels, and not add to what they and others have left us. We need to consolidate that legacy. We should not be inhibited by constraints of smallness. You know, we are a small island, we are a small country, or our perceived lack of resources. It all depends on what you think resources can be. For Sir Derek himself reminded us of what we have to do to counter these constraints. In an interview which he gave in 1985, he articulated the Caribbean and therefore the St. Lucian perspective in these words, and I quote him. I come, and that should be very, familiar and popular. We probably should learn it. I come from a place that likes grandeur. It likes large gestures. It is not inhibited by flourish. It is a rhetorical society. It is a society of style. It isn't a modest society, not at all. Indeed, as he said, it is better to be large and make huge gestures than to be modest and do tiptoeing types of presentations of oneself, unquote. So, what are we waiting for? What's keeping us back from these large, huge gestures? Let's go for it. Let's celebrate. Over the past 30 years, we have been inviting the general public to see this festival, not just as something for a few academics, intellectuals, but something that the whole nation should embrace and claim. I know we will get there eventually, as we did with our Jeune Creole initiative. It took us about 30 years for people to get excited about Jeune Creole. But time is moving on, and we should not tarry much longer. This is why I am pleased this year to welcome the participation of the constituencies of Gros-Islet, Babonneau, and Canaries in our festival. They are joining Labrie in organizing their own events, and I invite their communities to give the organizers their fullest support. I look forward to the participation of all the other constituencies in our 2024 festival. I look forward to the return of the Dennery Development Foundation that has been with us for such a long time, and as well to the Chamber of Commerce with its once popular business awards. So on my own behalf and on behalf of the Festival Committee, I express sincerest thanks to the government of St. Lucia, the Bank of St. Lucia, and the Library Cooperative Credit Union for their support over the years. We welcome this year FLOW and the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, who will be partnering with us to celebrate our country's and our people's achievements as we forge ahead, always in our determined pursuit of excellence. 30 years, ladies and gentlemen, event coordinators, people listening to me here and everywhere else. 30 years is no mean achievement for a committee such as ours, any voluntary. So I invite all to join in celebrating ourselves, celebrating our own, celebrating our achievements, our accomplishments, our creativity. Let's all work on consolidating our legacy so that those who come behind us will find us faithful and be inspired and motivated to proudly pass on the baton of excellence, which our 2 laureates and so many more of St. Lucia's sons and daughters have placed in our capable and, I hope, willing hands. With these few words, I thank you, and we look forward to a celebration of ourselves, of our country, of our laureates, Nobel, and otherwise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise. Now, the word that stands out for me the most in our theme is consolidate, because when we think of consolidate, we think of financial terms, and we always think of putting everything together so it makes life easier. And I'd like to think with our theme, we're talking about consolidating all our hidden treasures, all the creative, beautiful things, all the things that we are aware of in St. Lucia, but of course we have to get them not just in St. Lucia, but everywhere, so that they not only know that we have 2 Nobel laureates, but they know that we do celebrate them and that they are more than welcome to come to the island and join us in their celebrations. Now, talking about consolidating, of course, it also, as I said, means finances. So we do need the finances to keep us going. So whether you are a business organization, an independent person, I'm sure you're proud of what the festival is trying to do, and I believe that we are doing our best, and we can see every year the festival just grows from strength to strength, but we still need you. And saying that, I'd like to welcome one of our first sponsors, and our chair said earlier that without them we couldn't be here today. So Mr. Lucius Elevic from the Library Cooperative Credit Union, I would like you to take the podium. Thank you.
Members of the Nobel Laureate Festival Planning Committee, in particular our chairperson, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise. Library Credit Union is pleased to be associated with the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee as the committee hosts this year's 2023 Nobel Laureate Festival. At Library Credit Union, we believe that excellence is not simply a skills-based phenomenon, but rather behavioral and attitudinal. We believe that excellence is a mindset, a habit that inspires us to always do our best. This mindset also reminds us that there's always room at the top, and so our efforts should be focused on reaching the top. In an era where to be born and to live on an economically challenged small island state is meant to be, as Honorable Walcott would have put it, a precocious resignation to fate. Where there is that general ethos which seems to promote individualism as opposed to collectivism, and thus undermine the ability of our nation to maintain social cohesion, where we talk of economic growth and yet the people suffer, where we are living through a series of socio-economic processes which divides our people into conflicting economic interest groups and thereby eroding the spirits of community and togetherness. The quest to address those issues and nurture the spirit of excellence in our people is the cause for which the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee thrives, or rather strives. The committee has put together a multifaceted program of activities celebrating excellence in our people and their communities. We look forward to participating in all the activities, and in particular, Paint the Village with Jonathan Gladding in Library. And so, Honorable Walcott, you ask, why waste lines on Achille, a mesh shade on the seafloor? So, we waste lines on Achille because the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee and Library Credit Union believe that strong as self-healing coral, a quiet culture of excellence is emerging. It's branching out from our people. It's branching out from our community organizations. Deeper than it seems on the surface, slowly but sure, that culture of excellence will change us with the fluent sculpture of time. With apologies to Honorable Walcott and Omerus, let us all participate in the activities of Nobel Laureate Festival 2023, and may we model the values of excellence in our daily lives. Messieurs, Mesdames, merci.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alavek, the General Manager of the Library Cooperative Credit Union. And if we had to do, as he suggests, and attend all the events, we really need to start to drink all our tonic water. But thank you so much for encouraging everyone to at least take a look at the program. And you can do that visiting our Facebook page, St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival, or you can text us on 284-4111. And we will send you the program of events. Of course, we have another sponsor who, of course, we're talking about consolidating and expanding. I'd like to invite Mr. Charles to the podium on behalf of the Bank of St. Lucia.
Thank you for making mention of consolidating. I always believe that consolidating is important, especially for us banks. Being Paulette Louisi, Chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, committee members, and ladies and gentlemen, I bid you a pleasant good morning. Bank of St. Lucia has been sponsoring this festival for almost a decade. And today is no exception. We will continue to sponsor this festival, and we are going to lend our support to the tune of $5,000, particularly to the Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture. I don't hear anyone clapping for that. Thank you. Right. We are humbled to be afforded this opportunity to once again partner on an initiative which honors the legacy of two of the most distinguished sons of the soil, Sir William Arthur Lewis, and Sir Derek Alton Walcott. And we, as an indigenous institution whose roots are entrenched in the soil, we see it fitting to always be a partner, especially on initiatives like this, where we can celebrate the essence of this festival, and celebrate our people, who we are, and most importantly, a recognition of the tremendous potential that lies within us. The achievements of our Nobel laureates are a clear testament of our own potential and showcasing their work as we are doing through this commendable initiative of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee goes a long way in building the confidence of our young population. It shows them that they too can aspire to the highest level of their respective fields of endeavor. May this observance continue to inspire and ignite academic, creative, and artistic pursuits of our young people. And that is why Bank of St. Lucia will be looking forward to these activities in this year, and we will remain committed as a partner to supporting in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Charles, if you'd like to remain, we would like to have our check presentation now. So Mr. Elevick and Mr. Charles would like to present the checks to our chair. And just a reminder that the Library Cooperative Credit Union are sponsors of the Sir Derek Walcott Memorial Lecture. All right, so can we start with Mr. Yeah, okay. You have your check. Go ahead. All right. I think Mr. Elevick, if you would like to.
To be associated with this initiative.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, Mr. Charles, with your big check.
And we at Bank of St. Lucia are always happy to sponsor and be a part of this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As mentioned earlier, we welcome 2 new sponsors to the Nobel Laureate Festival, and both of them are going to help us to spread the news. And so to speak, one of them does a lot of talking. So let's see how they're going to help with the talk to spread with the flow. Mr. Anselm Mathran from Flow.
Chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, other distinguished members of the committee, I'd like to recognize the presence of 2 greats, in our opinion. My old literature teacher, Mr. Kendall Hippolyte, and of course, Dr. Adrian Auger, both literary giants in their own right. The achievements of Sir Arthur and Sir Derek, we feel, in their contribution to our national identity, we see them as part of the key pillars of our posterity. And as such, we have always been, as a company, Kebler Wallace and now Flow, committed to the cause. By some 20 plus years ago, you guys don't remember what phone cards are, but we had a phone card series featuring the 2 Nobel laureates, as well as gracing the cover of the annual directory. Of course, by the way, Her Excellency is also on our cover, one of our covers. But the work of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, we think that we have to acknowledge it as well. It's not a small accomplishment, 30 years strong, and the accomplishments and what they actually do to help garner support, partnerships, promotion, recognition, development, and of course contribution to the legacy. We think that it's time that they get their recognition and the due support. Our support is far more ubiquitous than cash because of the nature of our business. But I think it's safe to say that going forward, you can expect more from us. It would be remiss of me, as I close, to forget the work of, to not forget, or if I did forget, but to recognize the work of Kits Compton, former long-standing member of our company who was a big supporter of the cause for a number of years, and our current general manager, Chris Williams, who, I must tell you, every international presentation we have, he starts off with that slide of the highest per capita concentration of Nobel laureates in the world. So he's a big fan as well. But with that said, we want to express our support, even outside of what was pledged for the next week, month, and years going forward, for us to be more invested in the cause and assisting the committee specifically with the work that they've done. We salute you and we wish you a very, very successful Nobel Laureates Week.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manthra. And you know, I'm going to be watching, and I know that you're a man of your word, so we are expecting that people will see the SMS messages regarding the Nobel Laureate Week. And again, if you would like to get the program, please send us a text on 284-4111. Our fourth sponsor, and also one of our newest sponsor, has a task of, in a way, supplementing what Mr. Matra has said in terms of helping us to expose our Nobel laureates to more than just St. Lucia, of course, and not only just St. Lucians at home and abroad. So I would like to invite Mrs. Lorraine Charles St. Jules of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority to welcome us. Thank you.
Chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, Dame Paulette Louisi, members of the committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Here I see myself as the fourth person in the relay, in the race, anchoring the baton this morning. And I sat there and I realized I had no prepared text. Now I'm supposed to run the fastest because I'm anchoring, and also, I guess, provide perhaps the meat, which also I don't have. I also notice I don't have my branding material here today. And those of you who know us very well, the Tourism Authority, we are always quite visible out there. But today, I feel at home. I feel in a community. I'm privileged to represent St. Lucia. I'm privileged to lead an organization that represents you, that represents every St. Lucian, that represents our two notable, I would say most notable St. Lucians ever. When our team goes out globally, because our main mandate is to promote the destination, to promote the citizens, to promote the products, to promote you, to promote what we offer. When we go out there, we feel quite privileged because we know that our product stands apart. When people ask us, what's our USP, what's our unique selling proposition, why would someone come to St. Lucia? Among what we have done over the past 30 years is remind them that, my colleague said, that we are the only island with 2 Nobel laureates per capita. We're the smallest island. So when people talk about small islands and small economies, we remind them how important St. Lucia is because of this precious USP that we have. No other island where you could find 2 Nobel laureates for only 180,000 people. So this, we are really proud to stand and share with you today and to honor our Nobel laureates and to be part of this festival. So when we were contacted, we thought it was easy for us to be part of the 30th celebration today. So our role would be to continue to share that message and to proudly share that we are part of this festival. And what we're going to do is we have committed to all our global international markets to remind them of this product. And we today will launch officially a giveaway, a prize where a lucky couple or 2 people will win a trip to St. Lucia. So for the year round, we're going to be promoting ourselves, our Nobel laureates, this prestigious festival. And I was happy that Dame said that it was 30 years. It took 30 years for people to recognize. I'm sorry that we came on board so late. Better late than never. And we will proudly share with our audience out there, our communities, what St. Lucia has to offer. And we will provide a lucky winner with an all-inclusive trip for 2 from wherever destination that they come from, wherever country, continent, and they will come to St. Lucia and share what we believe is our excellence with our arts, with our culture, with our 2 Nobel Laureate honorees. So this is our pledge, and we'll continue to work with the festival. And I just want to say thank you for including us, and we look forward to, and congratulations on your 30th anniversary, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Charles St. Jules. Now, it is only advantageous for us to always know what's happening within the festival. So if you want to know more about this nice giveaway, don't forget to look at the St. Lucia Tourist Authority website and also the Nobel Laureate Facebook page. All the information will be there. And I'm hoping, although it wasn't stated, but I'm hoping that those winners will be attending the next Nobel Laureate Festival so that they can go back home and tell everyone what a wonderful festival we have, so they can encourage their friends and family to return. Saying this, I would also like to invite our chair again to speak to our sponsors' contributions, followed by the sponsors taking a photograph over here.
Well, yes, I jumped the gun and thanked people before they actually delivered. So it is just again to express my own thanks and thanks of the committee for the support that the government of St. Lucia through the Ministry of Finance. I mean, they are our biggest sponsors for the yearly budget allocation. Then Bank of St. Lucia, they've been with us for quite a while. Thank you so much. Library Cooperative Credit Union came in 3 years ago, and we embraced them. I'm sure there are others who are now itching and hoping that they had known this thing before. Otherwise, I'm sure they must be feeling left out right now. Flo, thank you so very much. All day long you had ting on your phone, so people would be hearing, I hope, and seeing messages reminding them of what's happening today, what's happening tomorrow, and perhaps a little promotion or two, so that to encourage persons to attend and to support. And St. Lucia Tourism Authority. Well, yes, I mean, our arms are wide. We want to embrace the world. And we've tried in our small way. I mean, we're now on social media, Facebook. Are we on Instagram? No, not yet. Facebook. WhatsApp, perhaps? Not yet? Well, so that was our way. And then we were going virtual over the last two years, mainly because we were forced to do so by the pandemic. But with the involvement of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, we are now a brand worldwide. So thank you so much, Mrs. St. Jules. I was about to say St. Gis. Lauren Charles, I know her as. And sometimes, I feel proud to say, they were either my students or I know them. And I look around and I see so many people who are doing so many good things. And I say, I had a hand in it. So there, thank you. Thank you so very much. And let's enjoy and celebrate this 30th anniversary. Thank you so much.
So we're just taking a photograph here so that we can spread it around the world. These are the organizations and companies that have supported the Nobel Laureate Festival. And of course, we have given continuous thanks, and we will continue to do so. And as expressed earlier, it's not just about the financial output, of course, we need, but any other support that will help us to grow our festival and show the excellence that we have, not only in our two Nobel Laureates, but of course, St. Lucians. So thank you very much for that. Now, I'm aware that time is getting on, and we have some event coordinators who want to tell you about their events. I want to quickly tell you about a few events that we have. In collaboration with St. Lucia's High Commission in the UK, the High Commissioner, His Excellency Mr. Anthony Severin, will visit Manchester University and the Sir Arthur Lewis Building on Wednesday, the 18th of January. This is a collaboration with the Nobel Laureate Festival here and my company, DD Media Relations. And we are working in the UK to ensure that other events are going to be happening in the UK. So this is all happening at the start at Manchester University, where His Excellency will be meeting with St. Lucian students there. We also have a St. Lucian who distills rum in Dumbarton, Scotland. I'm not sure if anyone was aware of that. And he is the only person actually distilling rum in Scotland. He was originally from Viewfort, and he'll be talking to me on my radio show, Metaphorically Speaking, on the South Bank. And he talks about why he created his distillery, and it's a legacy he has for his father, which unfortunately there's a very sad story about that, but he wanted to grow his father's legacy. So we talk about that. That is available. It's very early in the morning, so I don't expect anyone to listen to it there, but there is also a podcast, and that it starts from next week on the 18th of January, and that's available on all major streaming platforms. It's called Metaphorically Speaking, and we're also repeating an interview I did with Robert Lee for Metaphorically Speaking last year, because so many people were just so enthralled about him talking about using St. Lucia as a metaphor. It's a poem that he wrote for Sir Derek Walcott, and he speaks to that, and we thought that we should repeat that. It was one of the most favorite shows for the year 2022, so the radio station wanted to repeat that. So we're going to be doing that as well, and that's already available on the podcast. Which again is available Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever it is that you listen to your podcasts. And now I invite the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee and their event organizers to tell us briefly about the events. I will start, of course, with our blessing. We have a mass, and to lead that is our committee member, Kieran St. Rose.
Good morning, all. Before I start, I would like to say thank you to Dame Paulette for chairing the committee for 24 years out of the 30 years. Okay. A Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, church service, breakfast, and a school's video competition. The committee will hold its annual church service on January 8th at 7:45 at the Abbey of Our Lady of the Assumption, Mount of Prayer, Kubari. This also marks the beginning of our weeks of activities. Breakfast follows the church service, and it will be held at the Villa Santa Maria, Mount of Prayer, Kubari, and the price is $40 per person. Now the school's video project, which I am involved with, is done in collaboration with the Curriculum Materials Development Unit called CAMDO, which is also of the Ministry of Education. The aim of the project is to familiarize young St. Lucians with the legacy of our sons and daughters who have excelled in their chosen fields and who serve as an inspiration for them to follow in their footsteps. The target group, we are targeting students from primary and secondary schools aged 10 to 15. They are to create a short video, either a song, a poem, or a dramatic presentation of Sir Arthur Lewis, Nobel Laureate for Economics, 1979. Sir Derek Walcott, Nobel Laureate for Literature, 1992. And last but not least, Dame Calliope Paulette Louise, Governor General of St. Lucia, 1997 to 2017, and is also chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee from 1999 to present. The resource material will be taken from the following booklets. Do You Know Sir Arthur? Glimpses of Sir Derek Walker, and Dame Paulette Louise, first Governor General of St. Lucia, 19... Yes, sorry. First female Governor General of St. Lucia, 1997 to 2017. Now, the videos are to be submitted to CAMDO on the 20th of January. Judging will be done and prizes will be given to the first, second, and third. Prizes will be given, to the first, second, and third, who will be the best for the best presentations. Trophies will also be given to the schools that produce the best presentations, and a trophy will also be given to the schools submitting the most videos. Airing of the videos, a date has not been selected because we are awaiting the videos from the principals. As soon as this is done, it will be aired. I am also asking anybody interested in attending the breakfast, please see me after the lunch. Thank you.
our chair, Dame Paulette Lucia, partners, sponsors. As coordinator of the community events, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our community members for our 40th anniversary. We now have the Babono Nobel Laureate Committee, Canry's Nobel Laureate Committee, and the Grosley Nobel Laureate Committee. So we invite Grosley.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Linda Charles Ambrose, and I represent Grosley. So we have been roped into the festivities for Nobel Laureate, and we are very happy to be part of this noble activity. So Grosley, as you know, is the most vibrant, dynamic, and exciting community in St. Lucia, and this is why Sir Derek Walcott made Grosley his home. His creative juices flowed in Grosley like nowhere else. So I would like to acknowledge the presence of Dame Paulette Lucia, the chair of the National Nobel Laureate Committee. So in Grosley, we have a very exciting program, and we are going to begin on the 8th, which is Sunday. So we are going to launch our festival, and as part of that launch, we are also going to open an exhibition which features all the artists from the Grosley community. So it will be pictorial, it will be visual, there will be books, and there will be sculpture on display. So if anyone wants to be part of this activity, please see me at the end of this venture. So the feature address will be delivered by a son of the Grosley pure soil, Mr. Vladimir Lucian. He is a writer, a critic, an actor from Grosley. He attended St. Mary's College, where he discovered that he had a knack for acting. He has also written collections of poetry. He has received several awards for his work, and a theater has been named after him in Grosley. So there's the Human Resource Development Center, and within that center is the Vladimir Lucian Theater. And all our activities will be held there at the Vladimir Lucian Theater in Grosley. Now, another activity on January 27th is a performance titled Street Party One Friday Night. And as you know, Grosley is the host to the world-renowned Friday Night Street Party. If you all haven't been, please mark it on your calendar. And we have a very young choreographer right here, Mr. Richard Ambrose. He's highly qualified. He was trained in the Caribbean and Europe, and he has also received several awards for his work, and he continues what he's doing. Nowadays, he holds the accolade of Voice of St. Lucia Male to the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. So we have Richard Ambrose, who will come up to the podium right now to give you a synopsis of Street Party One Friday Night.
Good day, Madam Chair, Your Excellency. Just a little bit nervous. Other members of the Nobel Laureate Committee. Street Party One Friday Night. I was with my dad in Florida debating what's the point of coming back home. Things don't seem to be working. And I got a message from Mrs. Delia Francois saying, we're going to have Nobel Laureate Week in Grosley and we want a dance. Everything seemed to spark, and another call of destiny, so to speak, was Kendall and Jane King Hippolyte asking me to come to their house for a little while to house sit. as a choreographer, as an artist, the best thing to say, to tell, is who you are and where you're from. There are people in Grosley that I grew up watching that I thought were remarkably strange. There was the irony of a street party with people with drinks and coolers that continued regardless of rain, storm, whatever. There was the rhythm of the people who were not from St. Lucia, how they moved, and I thought it a little bit curious. Having studied now dance, its forms, its techniques, I think I understand a little bit better. And on the 27th, when you come, I hope to give you an experience that you've never had before. A high level of theater, dance, technique, and a mirror in which you will see yourself in ways that you haven't before. Thank you.
Okay, another activity for Grosley is the launch of a book entitled The Caring Entrepreneur, a Strategy for Sustainable Community-Based Tourism. And the author is Sylvester Closel. And those of you who have no idea who Closel is, he has worked on various tourism sustainable projects throughout the Caribbean. He is highly qualified in this discipline as well. And if you want to know more about this, come to Grosley, Vladimir Lucian Theatre, January 31st. And last but not least, we have Mr. Kendall Hippolyte. He is an author of several books of poetry, including Fault Lines, Night Vision, and Birthright. And Mr. Kendall Hippolyte has an evening of poetry and spoken word, and this will be held on Tuesday, 24th January at the Vladimir Lucian Theatre. All our activities begin at 7 p.m., except on Sunday for the lunch, which is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So Dame Paulette Louise spoke about us having to be huge and large with our gestures. Well, if you want huge and large gestures, metaphorically and literally, Kendall Hippolyte has them.
So after that introduction, I'll make sure I keep my hands in my pockets for what I have to say. Protocol has been established. I just want to say blessings to all. I'm very, very glad to be here. What we'll be doing on the 24th is presenting. We've got a remarkable tradition of poetry, of literature on the whole, but of poetry in St. Lucia. And what we'll be doing is presenting 13 poets, male, female, spanning generations, going back to MacDonald Dixon, who was the closest in the line, so to speak, to Derek, and coming down to Khadija Halliday, who I think electrified persons fairly recently as a spoken word artist. So 13 poets presenting work, both in English and in Creole. We will begin with an excerpt of a poem by Derek Walcott, and then we go into the work. I will be emceeing it, and in between, I will be doing a running commentary on the tradition here, and taking some of my substance from the poems that are being presented. And we will end with a choral presentation, a chorally arranged presentation of one of Derek Walcott's poems. And so all the 13 poets, and we will be joined by Sigrid Nama, the decades-long life companion of Derek. She'll be joining us for the final presentation of the chorally arranged poem. And so we want to keep things very, very tight to wrap it up in 2 hours. And then it's open afterwards if people want to, stay and chat, whatever, meet poets, etc. So we look forward to seeing you there. We invite you. There's an admission fee of $20. So spread the word. Bring yourselves, bring your enthusiasm, bring your friends, and let's come and celebrate our tradition. Thank you.
See, I told you, we got the gestures. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Grosley for you in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Good. Sorry. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I would like to adopt protocol that has already been established. Thank you. We are starting with, in Babonneau, we are trying to go as large as we possibly can. With excellence, we are starting off with our exhibition at the Babonneau Multipurpose Center, where we'll be having some young artists. We have a graphic artist by the name of Khalil Dawes, and we also have Afali Williams, one who can do your portrait right there on scene for you. So we are starting off with also, we have a published author, Alice Maida, and we have Alicia Valas Polius, who is also a writer. These two ladies are teachers at the Babonneau Secondary School. And we also have Latoya Murray, who was a participant of the Commonwealth essay competition. She did not win, but she was awarded a prize. So we'll also be featuring those persons there. Levi, who is, or Mr. St. Mary rather, who is the PRO for the Babonneau Nobel Laureate Committee, will come briefly to tell you about what we have, the National Skills Development Program.
Pleasant good morning, everybody. Madam Dame Paulette Louise, Chair, committee members. It's an honor to speak on the National Skills Competition and the remarkable benefits to gain from such initiative. This project was going to be harnessing the youth, our young youth, the creative arts, and to develop their talent, whether it be culinary arts, technology, the arts and drama. But it actually is going to focus and bring them together, and whereby they can become entrepreneurship and also boosting our economic development. This initiative is being collaborated by the Ministry of Education, Innovation, and Ministry of Economics. Thank you very much.
Okay, so our launching for Nobel Laureate, the Nobel Laureate Committee will be on the 18th of January, that is Wednesday, the 18th of January, and we will begin at 6:30 p.m. The purpose of this activity is to recognize our Nobel laureates in the Sir Arthur Lewis and Sir Derek Walcott. And also, it is a time when our parliamentary representative, our parliamentary representative, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, will be unveiling her plans for Babonneau. We will be going grand and we'll be doing some excellent presentations on that night. We'll also be featuring our solo artists. We'll also be looking at our steel pan. We know that Babonneau is home for the steel pan, so we'll also be having steel pan presentation on that night. And if you want more information, you can contact myself, Florencia Popo, or our PRO, Mr. St. Mary. On the 20th, we have our literary night, and this will be done at the Babonneau Secondary School, and it will be hosted by Mr. Wayne Benty, who is the vice principal of the Babonneau Secondary School. So we are looking out to attaining excellence in all that we put out, hoping that we will be able to have your full participation and cooperation as we go out on having our first Nobel Laureate in Babonneau. Thank you very much.
Canvas will be presenting by Zoom. So next year, hopefully 2024, we'll have all 10 districts. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. So as the namesake of the first recipient of the Nobel Prize, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College continues to play a pivotal role in the national events on the calendar of activities for the Nobel Laureate Festival, beginning first with the traditional Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture, which this year will be held on Thursday, the 19th of January, from 7:30 p.m. at the Finance Administrative Center at Point Seraphim. And the college is very proud that this year the presenter is none other than Dr. June Suma, who is an alumna of the Teachers College, formerly named, and who also served on the board of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. And her topic this year is Sir Arthur Lewis and Racism, Growing Inequality and the Right to Development, Destruction of Civilization. So we look forward to Dr. Suma's presentation. I think very many St. Lucians would know of her name, and it would be great to see her in this role as the lecturer for the Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture. So that, again, is Thursday, the 19th of January. The second activity that will be held, that is a staple on the calendar of our national activities, is the wreath-laying ceremony. As you know, after Sir Derek passed, his gravesite is a stone's throw away on the extended campus of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. So the wreath-laying ceremony is for both laureates. It's a memorial service where we lay wreaths at the gravesites of the two laureates, and we also have presentations to immortalize the works of Sir Derek and Sir Arthur. We also do have a keynote speaker for the memorial service, and that is delivered this year by Mr. Ember Charles, who's also an alumnus of the college, I think the A-level college at the time. And of course, you know, he's the current chairman of the Folk Research Center. And we expect that the family members of both laureates will be present, as well as members of the community who will participate in this ceremony. So these are our two staple activities, but the college always goes beyond, given that we are the national tertiary institution. We are named after, I said, the Nobel Laureate, and now Sir Derek Walcott is buried not too far on our grounds. So one of the activities that we will host is an open house for the newly established Derek Walcott Library. So a couple of years ago, those of you who don't know, we opened the Derek Walcott Library, which is separate from our resident Hunter J. Faswa Library. We were gifted with the works of Sir Derek by his partner, Ms. Nama, and we are very honored to do so. The library has not been officially opened. It will be, though, on the 23rd of January, which is the birth dates of both laureates. But on Friday, the 20th of January, immediately following the wreath-laying ceremony, the library the Hunter J. Faswa Library will hold an open house for the Derek Walcott Library. And they will provide an opportunity for visitors and patrons to tour the library and also to sign up for membership. And during the open house, Walcott's legacy will be celebrated with literary and creative performances by students and poetry readings by friends, family, and colleagues of Sir Derek. So we are pleased to inform that the library will officially be opened on the 23rd, but we invite you to our open house on the 20th. And to consolidate the legacy of the laureates, you must have your youth involved. And we are the tertiary institution. So our students will also take the forefront as part of activities on the campus. So our debate society will be having a student debate on Wednesday, the 25th of January. And I won't let out the topic just now, but it will be interesting for many of you to view it. We will try to live stream, and we will have a live audience as well. But they're going to be focusing on the importance possibly of preserving traditions, or whether we need to move to newer traditions. So we're going to invite you to the college student debate that takes place on Wednesday, the 25th of January. We are also going to be partnering with Head Funk to host a poetry event. Our library, our Hunter J. Faswa Library, has spearheaded an event that is called Word Up, that encourages the writing of poetry. So Head Funk will be collaborating with the college to put on a poetry event on Thursday, the 26th of January, and that will be held on our campus. Another staple for us at the college has been a theatrical presentation. And this year, the group will be putting on, the Creative and Performing Arts group will be putting on a full-length play that was actually written by our award-winning Kendall Hippolyte, who's with us here this morning, Cash Pandora. The play will be directed by Mr. Kennedy Booth Samuel, who's currently a lecturer in our theater department at the college. And this year, in addition to our students participating, Mr. Samuel has also brought in staff and other members of the community to be part of the production. So we are going to have that event at the National Cultural Center on February 7th with just a small fee of $20 to help us offset expenses. As you know, to put on a theatrical production would cost us. So on the 7th of February, we'll be having the production at the National Cultural Center from 7:30 p.m. And we will also try to do a matinee for the students, as that too is very important to engage them. And our final activity that we will have is a road relay. Just pre the pandemic, I think we had a race to the morn, which was a walk from one laureate to the other, and we have renamed it Laureate to Laureate Road Relay, and we'll be providing details on that at the soonest. So these are the activities from the South Louis Community College. As usual, we are very honored that we are included, Dame, and we will continue to do our part to ensure that the legacy of our two laureates live on. Thank you so much.
Dame Paulette Louise and everybody else who are here and who will be celebrating our Nobel Laureate Festival. Once again, we have met to launch our Nobel Laureate Festival, and for those of us who continue to be an integral part of the festival committee, we refer to this, or really, I refer to this as the season of inspiration. And we are overjoyed to share with you from the National Archives our offerings for 2023. By the way, Mr. Matre, I want to inform you that the phone books you referred to, we have copies at the archives. And the phone card, you will get it there. So we're doing our job. Anyhow, the National Archives Authority of St. Lucia will mount an exhibition as its contribution to Nobel Laureate Festival 2023. This exhibition will showcase the lives of our internationally acclaimed Laverne Spencer and Darren Sammy. It will focus on the rise of these two young people who both came from humble beginnings. They were reared in rural communities, and through determination, hard work, and perseverance, they rose to prominence on the world stage in their chosen sports of high jump and cricket. The theme for the exhibition is Celebrating Excellence, Fulfilling the Destiny, Winning International Acclaim. We normally have our own sub-theme for our activities. Now, this activity will be held on Monday, the 23rd of January, 2023, and it will be declared open by our own chairperson, Dame Paulette Louise, and at the activity, Ms. Sigrid Namer will also donate a collection of Sir Derek Walcott's items to the National Archives, something which he has done previously. And you may ask, why the exhibition? The exhibition is important. We need to inspire our young people to aim high, to succeed in their chosen fields, despite the challenges that they face. And this is why our exhibition will run from the 23rd until the 31st of March. It is to give each young person via their schools or other groups, sporting groups, etc., an opportunity to come and find out for themselves about these two young people. And we need your help and support. Push it in your communities. I am happy to hear that Grozile, Babono, did we say Canaries? Labrie, they're all coming on board, and by next year we'll have the whole of St. Lucia on board through their communities. Push it in your communities and help the young people to come to our activity. Coincidentally, the 23rd is the birth date of the Nobel Laureates. And you know, at the archives, our activities always go very well. Excellent. And we shall be celebrating with cake and champagne. You know, at the archives, I'm repeating, we're an institution of Gwazafe. And it's always a wonderful time when we have our activities. So I'm inviting you, I'm inviting other people, and you can come with a bottle, you know, in case we don't have enough. So, once again, Nobel Laureate Day, the 23rd of January, 10 a.m., National Archives. Dame Paulette will be there.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone with us here this morning. I think the first time I stood in front of Dame Paulette Louise was 15 years ago playing Mattock in one of MacDonald Dixon's play called Tinde. And it's a privilege to stand here today to present as a writer, producer, and founding director of Dramacan Talent House, our play, and to be affiliated with the festival. So thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. So my name is Danielle Dubois, director of Dramacan Talent House. The theatrical production, the Gopal Rehabilitation Center, produced by Dramacan Talent House, has grown into a household name over the past 2 years. And we are excited to conclude this theatrical series as part of the 2023 Nobel Laureate Festival. This is not our first collaboration with the Nobel Laureate Committee. Last year and the year before, Gopal 2 and 1 was broadcast live on the Government Information Service and across 5 local television stations due to the restrictions of the COVID-19 pandemic. Although our hands slightly tied, we managed to complete a theatrical production, celebrate excellence, and bring authentic St. Lucian stories to the screens of St. Lucians at home and in the diaspora. This year and today, we are delighted to announce the live showcase of the Gopal Rehabilitation Center, Part 3, the finale, happening Friday 27th and Saturday 28th January 2023 at the National Cultural Center. Tickets cost $50. The show starts promptly at 8 o'clock on both nights with a matinee show at 11 o'clock on the Friday. And for students, the fee is $25. This daytime showing will serve as an opportunity for CSEX theater arts students to witness and critique a play, which forms part of their SBA requirements for the successful completion of the subject. Dramacan is happy to provide this unique educational niche for students and falls in line with our capacity building mandate as we aspire to meet industry with students, giving them a real-life example and engagement of what creative pursuits and a career in the creative field of theater can look like. Gopal the play captures the stories of patients admitted into the glorified emotional wellness center and the people who work there. The themes wrap around love, betrayal, healing, and emotional wellness, and bringing light to toxic workspace and outdated ways of thinking. Set in modern-day St. Lucia, the center captures everyday people just trying to figure out this thing called life. The play was written by yours truly and will be directed by Leona Sandiford, theatre arts teacher out of the Den Riviere Secondary School. St. Lucia can expect to see new roles and new faces in this comedic drama, created to shine a light on issues and happenings that affect us all. Be sure to follow DramaCan Talent House on social media to get real-time updates as we are committed to documenting and sharing the journey to production night. On behalf of DramaCan, I must say thank you to the committee for the opportunity, the support, and of course the platform. And we hope we can continue to be a yearly staple on your calendar of events as we continue to celebrate excellence and the contribution of our 2 Nobel laureates. So once again, thank you very much. January 27th and 28th, National Cultural Center, $50. Long live drama.
Bonjour tout le monde. Moi tellement content moi ka debout ici à bon matin. I actually said it. Dame Louise and the members of the committee, thank you so much. This is almost like a dream to me. Atipawa Creole, I think, is the only event that is totally Creole in the Nobel Laureate Festival. It is a spoken word event that takes place on the 28th of January at Heroes Park. And for those of you who do not know where Heroes Park is, it is that absolutely beautiful, serene little cove right next to the Sanssouci Bridge. It should have been developed by now. Many years ago, there were plans to put in a monument there that had been commissioned from the St. Thomas. But that has not happened. I keep dreaming that one day I will actually walk past there and see some form of activity happening there that speaks to the park actually being Heroes Park. It will take place from 4 to 6 p.m. We are hoping to present 10 spoken word artists presenting in Creole only. And so for us, Creole is a spoken language, as most of us know. We know we speak it. It has become the language that we identify St. Lucia by when we leave our shores. But when we are home, we don't appreciate it so much. But Creole is a language, and because it is a language, Atipawa Creole is actually a competition that speaks to, that will look at not just performance, but how well we can actually write Creole. So all of the artists who will be taking part in Atipawa Creole will actually also be presenting their written work for judging, as well as presenting, as doing their performance on that afternoon. It is a free event, so we're hoping that you will actually be able to come and sit around. If you want to bring a towel and lay on the grass, you can do that as well, because it's a nice grassy area. Enjoy the ambience of the place and enjoy our little event. But we are really appreciative that the Nobel Laureate Committee has agreed to keep our Creole language alive. And one of the things that we want to do at Kai Creole is really to push the use of our Creole language. We lean on it a little bit, but sometimes we think that it is something to be ashamed of, and it really isn't. And Dame, I want to thank you so much for holding my hands through this. Atipawa Creole actually came out when I was asked to organize for the first time Chote Creole, which is the National Creole Song Competition. I was feeling so lost, and Dame Paulette Louise was one of those people who helped me through that little period of time there. So thank you so much. When you said earlier on that you have held so many of our hands, I sat there and I thought, I'm one of those. Thank you very much. And thank you so much to the committee for giving us this opportunity. We hope that everybody will. Like I said, it's a free event. So please join us on the 28th of January from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Heroes Park for Atipawa Creole.
Thank you very much, Karen, and everyone who has presented here. I actually attended Karen's event last year, and it was wonderful. And you don't have to have 100% understanding of Creole to enjoy it, because I'm one of those. I put my hands up. I understand practically everything, but don't ask me to speak it. But I understood what they were saying, and it was such a wonderful event. So please come out and support these young people who are keeping the tradition alive. Before we go to our coordinators live on Zoom, courtesy of the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, thank you for supplying the link. I'd like to tell you about the video series Celebrating Excellence, which we have a few seasons now, and everyone always says, who are you going to talk to next time? Well, the next time is now this time, and I'm going to be talking with Dr. Adrian Auger, who is here. Thank you so much for being here with us. Oh, of course, Dr. Anderson Reynolds, he's also here. Thank you so much. Those two gentlemen have so many wonderful things to say. You must not miss it. Also, Dr. Clarence Henry, and we also have Drenia Frederick. They're going to be talking about the relevance and some of the excellence that our Nobel laureates have given us at home and, of course, on the international scene. The videos are only approximately 45 minutes, so if you hear video, think, oh, this is going to be long. It's not. It's a very short video, and it's very engaging. So ensure that you watch them. It's going to be available on the Nobel Laureate Festival Facebook page and also on Hot 7 TV. All the airings and the schedules will be on our Nobel Laureate Facebook page, and also with the videos, which we are going to share with you right now, and then we're going to go across to our coordinators on the Zoom. So here's the video. Please tell everyone about the Celebrating Excellence series of videos. Celebrating Excellence, a series of videos that highlights the importance of St. Lucia's Nobel laureates, Sir Arthur Lewis and Sir Derek Walcott, is back. My guests are Dr. Adrian Auger, Dr. Clarence Henry, Drenia Frederick, and Dr. Anderson Reynolds. Watch before the evening news on Hot 7 TV and on our Facebook page, Nobel Laureate Festival St. Lucia, from the 8th of January 2023. Right, we're going to go across to our coordinators on Zoom, and they're going to tell us about their events. I do know that we have Mr. Jonathan Gladding. Of course, he is part of the Labui Promotions event of Paint the Village. That if you haven't been, please try and go there. It's going to be a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone. This is the 7th year of our plein air painting event in Library, which we call Paint the Village. The subject this year is our vanishing wooden buildings. Along with being a physical part of the landscape, they also represent a way of life in St. Lucia, which, like the buildings, is slowly vanishing, perhaps. So in making paintings of some of these buildings, we hope to celebrate and preserve this aspect of culture while creating an opportunity for artists around the island to get together and paint in the open air in the warm, welcoming community of Library. A local expert will be on hand to give some background on these buildings, how they were built, and the function they serve. Persons of all ages and skill levels are invited and encouraged to come down to Library with whatever art supplies you like to use. Pencils, paints, crayons, tablets, cameras, whatever. We meet at the square in Library at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, January 14th, and we'll paint to around lunchtime. So our thanks to the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, Dame Louise, and our generous sponsors. Looking forward to seeing you a week from Saturday. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. And with protocols already being established, I would like to see A pleasant good morning also to those who are watching on their social media channels. My name is Michelle Samuel, and I am the head of the St. Lucia Queen's Commonwealth Essay Awards Planning Committee with Slaterra, and I'll be providing you some information with regards to our upcoming event. So Slaterra will join several other organizations, as you already heard, in celebrating excellence, nurturing our creativity, consolidating our legacy. We, in partnership with Songtree, will mark the 2023 St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival from January 8th to the 31st, hosting the 5th annual St. Lucia Queen's Commonwealth Essay Awards as part of the 2023 St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival. The Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition is the world's oldest essay competition, launching in the 1880s. And it actually helps to schools and has been delivered by the Royal Commonwealth Society since 1883. It has been delivered in Her Majesty the Queen's name since 2015. In recognition of Her late Majesty, the Queen's selfless commitment to the Commonwealth, and in the past decade alone, the competition has engaged over 100,000 young people, over 5,000 schools, and around 1,000 volunteer judges. The QCEC seeks to introduce young people from disadvantaged backgrounds, underrepresented demographics, and remote communities to the idea of writing for fun, developing key literacy skills, and working to increase academic attainment. Through its promotion of literacy and writing skills, the QCEC contributes to the UN Sustainable Development Goal for quality education in over 60 countries and territories, and the society aims to reach even more young people throughout the Commonwealth in the coming years through the Digital Literacy Initiative. The year 2022 saw the theme Our Commonwealth, and 10 of our young students participated in this competition. To recognize them, we will have the Commonwealth Essay Awards, which will take place at the Finance Administrative Center, 5th floor conference room, located at Point Seraphin in Castries, on Wednesday, January 11th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Admission is completely free, but persons must RSVP to gain entry. RSVP link can be found on our Facebook page, Slaterra, as well as the St. Lucia Queen's Commonwealth Essay Writers page. The SLQCEA is an annual event held in the month of January during the St. Lucia Nobel Laureate Festival. There are 4 things that this award ceremony does. It announces the 10 students who participate in last year's competition. It will celebrate the 4 students who earned gold, silver, and bronze certificates. It will acknowledge the partners and sponsors who have supported and are still supporting this event to date, and will recognize a former participant writer who, due to her age, is no longer able to participate. All students will receive a platform through which their entries can be heard publicly, and they will also receive a frame certificate, and those who emerge as national gold finalists, gold, silver, and bronze winners will receive tokens and prizes from various partners and supporters. I would like to invite anyone and everyone who is a supporter and fan of the literary arts to attend this event to find out who our 10 young St. Lucia writers are, so that we can celebrate with them. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. We are grateful to the National Committee, the Chairperson, Lady Pudet, and Mr. Kwaswa for encouraging the formation of the Candidates Committee. She didn't think that Candidates would be presenting by us. This is the first time that we are hosting Nobel Laureate activities, and we hope that it is the first of many years to come. We have 4 major activities at community level to heighten the members' awareness on the importance of celebrating excellence as exhibited in our 2 Nobel Laureates, and to inspire community members to the same level of excellence. The committee members are as follows. I am the chairperson, Sylvia Michel, Mrs. Chanel Ferguson, Mr. Gregory Tobin, Mr. Alan Joseph, Mrs. Simona Baptiste, and Ms. Sanchia Lionel are all members of the community. The first activity that we are planning to host is the launch of Nobel Laureate Month, which is on Sunday, January 8th. That's this Sunday from 7 p.m. We will have an open-air presentation at the marketplace, a very popular place in the community, presentations from various churches in the community, and theatrical performances, as well as poetry recitals from members of the community. On Saturday, January 21st, from 7 p.m. as well, we will acknowledge the creative excellence of various members of the community. There are so many young persons and even more mature adults who are skilled in various areas, and so we'd like to highlight their creative geniuses and to show some appreciation for their contributions to the arts. On Saturday, February 11th, we go all the way up until Independence as well as these activities. So on Saturday, February 11th, from 7 p.m., we will have a night of poetry, headphone, and writers from the community will be invited to share their pieces with community members. And then finally, we will host an independence quiz as well on February 21st from 6 p.m. And this time we'll be engaging all the members of the community to participate in this quiz, which will reflect knowledge of the island and, of course, knowledge on our 2 Nobel Laureates. We want to thank you once again for encouraging us to be a part of these activities, and we hope that we will continue to make our contributions and inspire young people in the community of families to aspire to greatness. Thank you so much.
Final person to address us today is Drenia Frederick. We're just waiting for her to come on board. And of course, she always has something very interesting to tell us, and she'll tell us also about the lectures. So hopefully Drenia is with us now. Everything that you can do, word of mouth, to let everyone know that this festival is for everyone. Drenia, I hope that you're with us, and if not, I will just proceed. So I'll give her a few seconds and see whether she is able to meet us. All right, I believe we have another member, so we'll take that other member, and if we are experiencing more online difficulties, we'll just proceed to the close.
Chair of the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee, David Luigi, fellow committee members, sponsors, special invited guests, general public, good morning. I am Secretary Brian, Acting Outreach and Marketing Officer at UE Open Campus St. Lucia. As our contribution to the Nobel Laureate Festival celebrations for 2023, we will be hosting the 7th annual Patricia Isman Literary Workshop, tentatively on Friday, 27th January 2023.
This workshop is dedicated to literary icon and long-serving UE lecturer, Dr. Patricia Isman, in whose name a scholarship for St. Lucia students studying B.Ed Literacy Studies at the UE Open Campus in Lucia site has been established. To date, 3 students have benefited from this scholarship, which was generously provided by her sister, Ms. Hester Isman. Dr. Isman was an Ireland scholar, UE alumna, and lecturer at the University of the West Indies, and a leading authority on the work of Sir Derek Walcott. Last year, under the theme Appreciating and Assessing the Power of Poetic and Dramatic Text, the workshop was tailored to CSEC English B and theatre arts teachers from various secondary schools on Ireland. While the first 6 workshops were facilitated by Dr. Antonia MacDonald, this year the facilitator will be none other than Mr. Kendall Hippolyte, who is in studio right now. Mr. Hippolyte is an alumnus of the youth. He's a poet, a playwright, and director. The recipient of a number of awards and honors in literature, directing, and other areas. Mr. Hippolyte also received the St. Lucia Medal of Merit for his service in the arts in the year 2000. Mr. Hippolyte taught theatre arts and literature at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College for 15 years. Mr. Hippolyte was also associated with the 6th annual Patricia Isman Literary Workshop in 2022, where he addressed the elements that influence the choices of dramatic and poetic techniques in the creation of literary work. The 7th annual Patricia Isman Literary Workshop will take place at the UE Open Campus St. Lucia site located at Montfortune in Castries, tentatively on Friday, 27th January 2023 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you.
Important information you want to know about, of course, our lecture series. So, Joania, let's see if we can hear you this time. All right, so Joania was going to tell you about the Sir Derek Walcott memorial lecture, and I will continue. If she comes across, then I'll leave over to her. It's going to be delivered by the Honourable Hazel Simmons MacDonald, and the title of the presentation is Walcott's Plays, a creative exploration of St. Lucian culture and identity. I know that she had a wonderful presentation to give you, and unfortunately we cannot do it at this point. So we will put it on our Nobel Laureate Facebook page, so you'll be able to see it there. The lecture is going to be taking place at 7:30 p.m. at the Finance Administrative Centre on the 17th of January. So that's Tuesday, the 17th of January, 7:30 p.m. at the Finance Administrative Centre. And of course, this is an event that many people adventure to come out, where we have lectures where it just all comes to play when we hear our lecturers explain why things are the way they are, the way through their eyes. And of course, there are opportunities to ask questions as well. So that takes us to the end of some of the events that will be available to everyone. And don't forget that you can also text us, SMS us, and let us know what the program was. I think earlier I might have said that the number was 4111, but it's actually 2842111. Okay, so that is 2842111. That's the number, and if you just say program, that's all you need to do. We will send you the program of events. So it's been a long morning, and I hope that we have said something that will interest you to come to one of the events. I'd like to thank our sponsors, of course. We have the Library Cooperative Credit Union, the Bank of St. Lucia, Flow, and the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. On behalf of the chair of our Festival Committee, the Nobel Laureate Festival Committee for 2023. And of course, I need to thank our coordinators and all those people who took part in the events, whether they were interviewed, whether they gave their time or their areas of expertise and advice. We thank you all. So, what can I say? But again, just encourage you all to please spread the word, go onto the Nobel Laureate Facebook page and send us an SMS on 284-2111. I'm Delia Delore. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.
The panel, the discussion, an objective and impartial view of the issues of interest to you. Nation Beat is on now.
you.